back to Catalan Courses. In this chapter, we'll discuss what factors you should consider when evaluating and selecting the best fit test automation tools for your team project. Now, we'll walk you through the differences between free and paid tools with some example of how to choose the most suitable one for your team. There are a variety of different issues that your team must consider when selecting testing tools. Among these top considerations, many of them makes the decision based on which type of tools would best serve their needs, whether it's a freebie or a paid solution. So let's be honest, have you ever wondered why the stage of selecting tools is that important? Simply, it's because starting with the best fit tools will allow your team to reap its full potential during the whole project, all the way from the software development step to long-term operation and maintenance. With the right tools, QA teams have an effective way to mitigate hidden risks like regression risks that may occur due to the constant updates and maintenance. To ensure the success of testing project, your team must carefully investigate the total cost of ownership throughout the expected life of the tools by performing a cost-benefit analysis. This topic will be covered later in the ROI section. Now, we'll take a closer look into the two types of test automation tools, among which exists a best match solution for your team. First, you have the options of free and open source tools. Their most significant advantages is that they come with no expenses or license fee. With their proven flexibility and open capability, you can customize and create a more tailored solution for your in-house framework. Well, there of course is the intensive training to relevant coding knowledge are the basic needs for these types of tools. Besides, the frequency of releasing new updates, such as new features or bug fixes, is one more thing that you may consider when using free or open source tools. With that being said, your team has to keep an eye on all the new updates and latest features, especially breaking changes, without timely announcement and dedicated support from the tool vendors or community. Commercial tools, with the only disadvantages of requiring a paid license, sometimes also offer free trials for a week or free version, but it's for a personal use only. Unlike free tools, commercial tools allow testers to start off with lots of built-in functions such as test design via UI without programming skill needed. Plus, it calls for less effort to maintain test asset. Regarding the new feature enhancement and support, paid license protect your test automation solution with a warranty plan by frequently releasing updates and defect fixes in certain amounts of time. For a small testing team with little to no programming skill, it may be a better choice to start with the vendor-based tools instead of a free option based on the pros and cons that we already mentioned. While teams have to pay for license, developing and maintaining test automation framework as well as cases are much easier. Regardless of the chosen free or paid tools, you should start with a proof of concept to validate the tool suitability with your application infrastructure and architect before introducing them into your organization. Moving on to the next part, these are some examples that you may consider before selecting any tools. First, tool for unit testing must be different from UI testing tools depending on the user objective of using automated tools and the test level. So for instance, assuming that the GUI elements are visible but cannot be captured using XPath or CSS selector when performing UI end-to-end testing for web or mobile application. This scenario is also known as false positive. In contrast, when the element locator is interactable by automated testing without being visible to the end user, it will then cause a false negative. So remember, this is the top 3 challenges of UI automated testing that many teams are facing. First, application change too frequently. Second, different ways in error handling. And third, cross-browser testing. So to deal with these challenges efficiently, your team should decide on standard ways of using, managing, storing, and maintaining the tools and test asset. When UI changes too frequently, you have to have a self-healing feature as Catalan Studio provided. Self-healing capability offer a host of benefits for tester and your team. It takes less time and effort to ensure all the functional testing runs smoothly and avoids interruption of all execution. Another consideration, importantly, is choosing powerful tools with sufficient feature. A tool that has various features but your teams only need part of them. The more complicated the tool is, the slower the testing process becomes and the training as well. Hence, your team should try to find a way to either reduce the feature set or remove unwanted parts from the toolbars, or select a license to meet your needs, or try to find an alternative tools that are more focused on the required functionality. Incompatibility between different environment and platform. Test automation does not work on all environment and platform. Implement automated tests to maximize tool independence, thereby minimizing the cost of using multiple tools. This chapter shows you key consideration of free and paid automated testing tools. Regardless of the types of tools, you must be careful to investigate the total cost of ownership throughout testing tools life cycle by performing a cost-benefit analysis.